All right, hey, Dave Knight here. Last 30 minutes of trading, closed 30. Today we're looking at the market. There's the lows of the session right here, 35.58. Let's mark that for future reference. $38.54. That's the low of session, low of the movement. High of movement is 40.35 right now. Actually, it's higher. 40.42. This is actually the current high we're at. So there might be a sell-off into close today. We want to wait for the basically the 1 o'clock mark, 1:05 roughly, before we start looking. Let's see, highest volume. That might be highest blue bar volume right now. From the 8 o'clock mark. 7:30 before, right there. See a whole bunch of blues. Alright, so 1.5p today is 26. And it's an 8-tick 1/2 hour stop. If I do decide to do the sell today, let's get rid of these two. Actually, I just need to clear everything out and reset it. So selling 2 with a stop limit, 3 ticks. I want to buy back 1. 1/2 hour is 8. And we want to buy the second one back, 1 full tick. 1 R is 15 today. If I decide to do this, $1.5p is 26, and 3p target, if it would run, is 52. I don't expect that to happen in the close, but that's how it sets up. So let's say OK to that. Let's check it. It works. Switch back. $40.47 is a new high. Looking at our 15-minute chart, this is what it looks like today. Coming off the lows, coming up here to highs of yesterday, trying to reach it, getting close. Above the 200 bar SMA right here. Still going up, by the way. Dow is up 289. Here's our hourly chart. Let's pull that over. Let me move this over. That's what it looks like on the hours. Actually, I want to bring that out a little bit. Looks better. Alright, so this is what it looks like on the hour. Here's your lows at 4 a.m. 5 a.m. it started making its move up. Tried to make a move here at 11. And 12 to 1 we're going up again. It looks like it might be trying to retest the highs up here. Let's actually mark that on our, what do we want to put on there? I'll put a trend line maybe. Roughly that doesn't look right either. All right, we'll just try to keep that in mind. We know 4108 is the, what is the high right here? Yeah, 4108. Wants to retest that maybe, perhaps. Put a horizontal line in right in here, though. There's some demand area right there, and then the R1 line. Well, we put that right on the R1. How about that? So it's not needed. I can't get that right now. 4062. Let's hold on here. Gonna pause. Gotta wait for the we have to wait. As much as I want to be in it right now, just gotta wait. Let's do one thing though while we're here. Let's get a trend line on here so we can count. It's possible. Low of this bar is 56. Let's put in 54 for now. All right, so the goal of today is to get a trade in to count it. And I'm willing to take an 8-tick hit on a one trade. We have the 5 on. It doesn't look too good for this trade. All right, so 1.5p from 40.63 is 40.37 if it wants to run. That's right. Looks like it wants to go up, and I got in early. We do have the 5 on here. Are you kidding me? I'm going to pause here. All right, I don't know if I caught it or not, but we're lowering our loss. $51 is a 1.5p move. That's what I'm looking for right here on the 47.7. So anything below 40.51 is a win. I'm looking to get, I like to move to break even, but it's too close. So we're going to give up about a little less than half our gains from yesterday. If it takes us out, we're going to be done. I'm not going to trade again. I say that all the time, but I mean it this time. Because if the market doesn't want to fall here, it probably doesn't want to fall into close. All right, let's go after a 2p target now, not a 3. It'll be a 19 tick hit from here. We won 39 yesterday. So it'll still put us up on the week. We get down to, if we can get down to around 61, 60, 59, we'll try to get to break even here. All right, I don't want to take anything less than, it goes above 73, it's done. Put a fork in it. We'll stay on the odd number 73. Got a feeling we're going to pop up really hard and fast in the close and get above that 4108. That's what I'm protecting against. I could start zooming up into close and go after the 4108, which the high from a couple days ago. I'm just hoping there's not any, it's a hope. No, I shouldn't say it's hope. Playing the odds that the market has already put in its high for the week at 4108, and we're playing against that. Let's lower our loss here. It could bounce really quick and take us out. That's what I'm afraid of right now. So 51 is a 1.5p from 77. And we're down 9 ticks. So we basically need 56 or better to win the day. All right, that's good enough. We're going to hold it break even now. I will hold 69. I'd like to see it get to about 56, 55. We'll be trying to grab 56, trying to make a win out of the day. There we go. That's break even now. We get to 51, we're going to be protecting 55, 56. Remember, this market could go flying up against us at any second. That's what we're protecting against. We'll take our loss and move on to the next day. No big deal. That's what we'll hold. 40.65. All right. Didn't want to go. I'm not going to trade it again. I'm done. And try 2 shots at the close. Be curious to see if it runs the 4108 line. I'm going to pause here. I'll be back at the 130 mark to see how the market finished off. All right, here we are at 120. We got knocked out on that move right here. Let's see. We've got 10 minutes to go. The former open outcry of the crude oil market is 130. Obviously it trades to 5, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It doesn't really matter. I didn't like, by the way, I didn't like the morning. I didn't trade the morning. It wasn't in my plan. The market had already made its bottom down here below S1, and it was a pretty strong up move, and momentum was showing an up move. That's not in my wheelhouse. The 8 o'clock market had already come off its bottoms considerably, and I was waiting for the market to roll over. It started to look like it was rolling over here, and then it stopped. And I stopped looking at the market at the 9 o'clock mark. This looked, again, right here, looked kind of good, but the momentum indicator was actually up. And this is the same time, so this was not a good short signal, high to high. So I stayed away from it. This was when it started looking a little bit good, but I was already done on the day. I didn't take advantage of this. I thought we'd hang around pivot for a while, which was true. So good decision to stay out of the markets for me personally today. This isn't in my wheelhouse. A lot of times trading longs, and obviously I wasn't looking at this mark here. If I'm going to trade a long, I want to catch it as close as I can down to here. This is where I want to try to catch a long. It's above S2, by the way. So I'm good with catching a long from S1 going to pivot. But by the time we were thinking about trading along, me personally, I didn't think there was enough room for profit to run to the pivot point. So I didn't really want to trade from here. I guess this was the 8 o'clock mark right here. I guess I could have took that. Volume was showing me that I wanted to trade this other side of this. So I was looking for a short coming in on a Friday, and the market took off. So I don't like trading longs on Fridays. It's personal opinion, and I stick to it. So I would, on the open, let me rephrase that. I don't like trading a long on an open on a Friday. I'll trade the short, but I won't trade the long on a Friday. So I was looking for the short move below this mark right here, and it didn't go underneath it, and I just pretty much stood aside after that. And the only long opportunity would have been above this mark here, and it was just too close to pivot for profit. And in fact, if I'd have got in on the long, it would have taken me out on this downward movement here. That's what happens an awful lot in the longs that I try to get involved in. So if I was going to try to catch the long, I would want to catch it down here, and you can see the momentum indicator was showing that it was a short there, not a long. So, and by the time the long kind of showed up, this was the high up here, and it just didn't go to plan, so I stayed away from it. So I only looked at the closed 30, and damn it if it didn't go down today a little bit. Made the 51 and hit 56, so we'd have had just a best case scenario today. We'd have been 2 trades plus 1 tick cover commission costs. So that would have been best case scenario today. 51 covering, I might have covered at 51 with 1.5p with, coming into the last little bit of trading. I might have just covered at 51 and been done with it. That was best case scenario for me today. I didn't do too bad. 2 trades, only losing 8 ticks. That's 4 ticks per trade. That's not a bad day. Easily 1 trade win like the other day. Man, if I'd have caught the whole damn move yesterday, wow, what a movement that was. Going down to the GAN number of 39.90, but it actually physically makes a low around 39.50. From the low to high, from 39.50 up to 40.77, nice move going the other way. All right. I'm going to pause here. I'll be back right at the 1:30 mark to see how the market finished off here today. All right, so here we go. About 2 minutes outside. Market settling up. They say the pros trade the close and the amateurs trade the open. That's a Dr. Burns quote. Oh, by the way, I had taken his courses years ago. Went through it, some good stuff. He's actually promoting an option course right now. He interviewed a guy that I really like, Option Alpha. I would highly recommend him in the options arena, optionalpha.com. Oh, and as far as stock traders, I haven't taken this course, but the one that I like more than any others is actually claytrader.com. I don't know I think his first name is his first name Clay? I'm not sure. But the website he runs is called claytrader.com. He seems to be, of all the stock traders on YouTube, I seem to like him. I gravitate to him more than any of the others. So there's actually a dude that's doing Forex that I kind of like too. Can't think of the name right now, but I think it's called Get FX Pro, or I don't quote me on that. I don't know the dude's name. I saw his. I can't think of the company, FX Pro now or something like that. I'm not a fan of Forex, but I do like his message. Those are three people that, there we go, now we're running down, huh? At the 130 mark right here. So it looks like 4051 would have been your target overall right there. So 1.5p move, then lots of studying on average range of movement over the years. And close 30, you have to measure it from the swing high though. So you don't measure it from entry, you measure it from your swing high. So your swing high is 40.77, and I call it the break even decision. Originally this was a trade that gets me out of trouble. So, and then I just turned it into what I call the close 30. But it's a trade that gets me out of trouble a lot of days. On days that I'm down a little bit. I used to have it on measure it with the entry point, and I noticed that it really didn't go through. You had to actually, and I like to trade the short side, as you can tell. Now the other side of that would have been if the entry point was the other way, then you see it's 4103 is what I would have been hunting for the other direction, right? So, and that would have been reasonable if I liked the setup going into close, going after the 4108. So you could have easily ran the other direction if people wanted to run that high. And they could still run that high between here and the close of Friday's trading. I mean, we could see people wanting to take this up. I mean, I could easily see people wanting to take it down, keep it here, or take it up to 4108 just to see what's there, and then come back down here and settle around the 4077, 4050 mark. Any of that's doable right now, especially when you start dealing in low volume. And low volume after you look at this right here. That's not a lot of interest at the 130 mark, by the way. Here's your interest in the markets back here. Here's where the 5 comes in that I like to trade, and that's why I went short in the close right there as the 5 was in play. What do I mean by the 5 again? Well, usually it's measurements that I'm looking at right here. It's basically things that are over 500. So are there more than 5 blue bars above 500? And the closer that you get to the 1,000 mark, the better. So where's one at almost 1,000? There's two. There's three at 1,000. You have two that are close. So there's your 5. Let me rephrase that. Reframe it again. So your true 5 is this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. There's your 5, and that's what I like to see. Coinciding with this, coinciding with this, coinciding with this. If I could have been patient and waited for it up here against this high, I got in here, roughly, I think, or I think that's where I got caught on my long at 70, or short on 72, and the market topped out at 77. So if I could have been a little bit more patient and waited for that 5 minutes I talk about, this could have been a winning trading day for me. It wouldn't have been a lot, but it would have been a win. So I came in a little too early because we had hit the R1 line, and that's what I traded. And if I would have just waited for my signal to truly form a little bit higher, then I could have caught this little win today. Not much, but it definitely, the signal was roughly right in here to short it. That's things that I have to get better with, right? You're always constantly learning as a trader, always. And you know, and I understand my profit targets and what I'm after, but you're always constantly learning how to be a better trader, how to manage your trades better, how to have better entries, how to have better exits. You're constantly reframing your trading as time moves on. I don't know how else to explain that other than that's how you get better. And why I constantly talk about, now there's a lot of these funded firms out here now that are in the market. I have enjoyed TopStepTrader. I'm not saying that they're not the only game in town, but to be able to use your own knowledge and with the possibility of being able to trade their money as opposed to trading your own money and losing thousands of dollars. Now there's a lot of handicaps at TopStepTrader, but you see how I manage my trading by basically pretending that I've got more contracts on so that I can use the one contract philosophy inside the 30K for the most part. Notice that I do believe in 2 contracts with a low volatility. You saw me trade that yesterday. And if I could have been a little bit more patient on my other entry with the other contract, it was, yeah, I think I figured out that it was worth, I know I wrote it down yesterday. 2 contracts was worth 111 ticks. So that was the possible profit that I left on the table. I took 39 and there was 111 on the table. So that's where I, as a trader, have to get better. Now, and I deal within the framework of TopStepTrader. So, and I know that you want to take wins away from the market when they're there. So that was basically the only really good short setup all week. And it came in yesterday around the pivot point that you go back and look at my trading from yesterday. That's going to do it for me today on Friday. We'll look at trading next week. This was the roughly last week of my quote vacation in July. I'll be more active into next week or into August. Now July can be kind of hectic though. Don't get caught up in the doldrums of summer. It's you know, the volume really doesn't start coming back until August for the most part. It's a little bit different world we're living in right now with the pandemic and what's going on in America and the rest of the world around us. Just a little bit different, but don't get caught up in the thinking that this is normal. This is abnormal movement that we've been seeing recently. Summer can be can be at times profitable, but you got to be very, very careful. It's just like the volatility measurement that I like to look at. I like it above 2.0. Is it above 2.0? No, it's below 2.0. Ideally, I like it above 1.5 or higher. When it gets underneath that 1.5, it really gets difficult to trade. There's just not a lot of opportunity. 2.0 is where it gets better. 1.75, closer you get to 2, the better the trades are with volatility being your measurement. All right, that's going to do it for me, man. Have a great week. We'll see you bright and bushy tail on Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye for now.